Production support for award-winning News 6 has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and this public television station.
Hi, we're from Continental School, home of the Pirates. Welcome to News 6.
Today on News 6, we'll learn how to print the old-fashioned way. We'll see the makings of a racing car, and we'll learn the ways of the Indians of many years ago.
Hi, I'm Jeff Liffick from Continental School. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Melissa Woolham.
When we read a newspaper, we usually don't think about how it's printed. Niall Statler thinks about it every day, and he's been printing for 47 years.
Printing is done very differently nowadays than it was years ago. Niall Statler enjoys sticking to the old ways at the Continental News Review.
What's the machinery that you use?
Well, we usually start out with a linotype machine, which we set all the type. Its machine has mattresses with letters in the back of them, and the lead is 530 degrees temperature, and it casts in behind the mats and then forms in the lines in a galley, and that's what we print off of. Then we have, to print the newspaper on, we use the cylinder press, where you make up a form and print direct off the type, or today they don't do that. And we have a platen press where we print small tickets and do numbering jobs and perforating and things like that. And we have little round corner machines that put a professional look to the old-fashioned round corner. Older machines use letter printed right off the letters. Like we have wood type anywhere from 1/2 inch up to 10 inches tall, and the different widths, little skinny stuff to wide. And we print direct off that instead of off of the film or paper like they do now.
Why do you use this machinery instead of modern day machinery?
Well, main thing, they're paid for. And the novelty of it, a lot of it, is they still will do the work, and it's a real printing instead of today. Anybody can paste something on paper, but to take the type and make something out of it is a real skill.
Today's News 6 is being produced by Mr. Archer's and Mrs. Bibler's 6th grade class from Continental School. Continental is located about 15 miles southeast of Defiance. The town was founded in 1881 and has a population of 1,200.
Speed is the name of the game for the Winkle Racing Team. They run their operation in Continental and showed us what racing cars is all about.
Racing cars takes a lot of teamwork and energy. The Winkle Motor Team combines efforts to create and race their stock cars.
We basically start with just raw metal, and the car comes out a finished product. So we have various departments inside our operation. We have a parts department, a chassis shop, a get-ready shop, a machine shop, and an engine shop. We prepare the car according to what racetrack we are actually going to. Different racetracks take different spring combinations, different shock combinations, and different tires. According to the banking on the track, we also have to set the front end alignment, the caster, the camber, the toe end differently. So it all varies depending on which racetrack we're going to.
How is this car different from the cars our parents drive?
There's only one real similarity to a normal street car, and that's the basic sheet metal or the basic body style of the car. Everything else is completely different. It has a tubular steel frame, it only has one seat, it doesn't have an ignition key, it just has toggle switches. So the only real similarity is just the body and the sheet metal.
It must take a lot of money to have a race car. How do you do it?
Yeah, it's extremely expensive to race the 29 race circuit that we're in, and we obtain sponsorship to do this. So we have 5 different sets of decals on the side of the car to show for all of our sponsors.
Kids View gives the kids of Northwest Ohio a chance to say what's on their minds. We asked the 6th grade class at Continental, what would you do to make Continental a better place to live? Here's what they said.
Clean up the town.
Build more recreational things.
To uphold the law. Build a fast food restaurant.
Where can people learn and live the ways of Indians? At an Indian rendezvous. After years of going to rendezvous and researching the history of American Indians, the Conner family has become experts on Indian life.
The Conner family lives and learns the ways of American Indians. They make and wear their own Indian costumes and have a large collection of handmade Indian artifacts.
Everything that the Indians wore had a purpose, and this dress is made out of deer skin. This is a Plains Indian dress. It's from the Crow tribe and from the 1840 period. These are quilled hair ties, and they were used on their braids. This is earrings, and they're dentalium shell earrings, and they were very valuable because they were found only on the West Coast. This dress is decorated with a deer tail and beads, and the Plains Indians were a nomadic tribe, and everything that they had, they carried with them, and so they carried a lot of things on their belt. This is a brass tack belt.
What kinds of things did Indians use in everyday life?
Well, they used many things, and one of those things is this brass pot, which isn't very important to us, but it wasn't important to them because it showed that they had a lot of wealth. Another thing they used was this birch bark box, and they would have carried all kinds of things in there and stored food and clothing in there. Other things that they had were these amulets that they made for their children when they were born, and they put their babies' umbilical cords in them. They were to keep the evil spirits away. Another thing they had is the porcupine quill work, and this knife case is done in porcupine quill work. Also, they had the beads like this, which are 17th century beads, and they got those from the white man when he came, and they traded them for furs. This is a thistle dart. It's made out of thistle down and wood, and they used those in blowguns. The Southern Indians mostly used those. Another thing they had was this otter bag, and it's decorated in porcupine quill work and beads and hawk bells.
Why do you participate in the rendezvous?
Well, we participate because it's a family thing. Also, we learn things there that we don't normally learn in our rushed society. We learn how to carry wood and water and things like that. That's really important to us, values that are important to us.
That's all for today's show. Join us next week when News 6 travels to New Riga, Ohio.
Production support for award-winning News 6 has come from the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation and this public television station.